And we are underway, boys and girls, with the first round. This is going to be good stuff. Let's see. Let's see if we can lock in. Okay, so we're locking in on the demo man for Team Epsilon. Watching him progress. He's going to make his run in towards the main point. Let's see if we can get up high on the main point. Find out what's going on. As you see the Crack Clan now moving in from the right-hand side and also from the middle as well. They're trying to push in. Soldiers pushing in. You can see the soldiers moving in. Looks like 50-50's been taken out. Ali, oh, the medic's just gone down. Not looking good for Epsilon as they've lost their medic already. It looks like, let's see, 64% of the Uber for Two Nuts. Let's see what Two Nuts is up to. Let's see if we can focus in. So we're looking at Numlock at the moment. There we go, Numlock. He's after the medic, but is he going to try and back off? Let's see. No, he's going to let the scout go after him, and he's going to demo jump in after him. Let's see if we can get him. Oh, and he gets him. Two Nuts gets taken down by the demo man, but that was a sacrifice by the demo man. Quite an important thing. And that was pretty helpful as far as they can see. So let's see what's going on as we're watching Gear now. And he's still at the midpoint at the moment. Now, obviously, looking at the sides, it looks like... There we go. Crack now have a full force. We're still waiting for Numlock and Bash to come back in. So that's one demo man and a scout down as we watch Gear trying to hold this point. Trying to cover all the choke points on the left and the right. And there we go. They've caught that point. So now they're moving up to the next point. And let's see what's going on as we're following... Gear in there. He's trying to deal with a couple of the scouts, checking the little sneaky points where scouts and nasty people tend to sit. So you can see them now moving in, pushing in as fast as they can. So obviously you've got Gear there. He's making his way through. Let's see if we can find out what's going on the point. So you've got the two scouts and you've got another scout over on the left hand side, and it looks like one of the points is trying to be captured, but it may have been intercepted. So there's one of the scouts being taken down, and we're now watching Bash in as the scout. You can see him sitting on the point with his teammate ready to capture this point, and they will then move up onto the next point. There we go. So they're now moving forward, and let's see what's going on. Two Nuts has an Uber. Unfortunately for Ali, he's only at 30%, and that's not looking good for him at the moment. They're down with Fiddy for Crack Clan, and you can see Bash basically deliberately harming himself in order to try and build up that Uber a little bit more. Bash now going in, having a little bit of fight with one of the scouts, gets taken down, and we're now looking at Nox and the demo man making their way in very slowly. Ali still trying to build that Uber, comes under fire from one of the roamers. No, actually that was the pocket soldier, and it now looking as Nox makes his way back to try and defend. So Nox obviously acting as the pocket soldier, working with the medic. So you can see now them firing back at their opposing number, and you can see now also being pushed in to the central point from both left and right directions. So you can see there we go, another quick jump in attack there in from one of the soldiers of Crack Clans. We're now watching Nox move back, so obviously he's acting as the pocket. Let's see if we can find what's going on, because you can see, I think it is Gear. Yeah, Gear will be the roamer. So let's see if we can find out what's going on. So now we're looking in Stefan, in as the scout. He's going to be sniffing around for an opportunity. Looks like the Uber just had to be popped as he came under attack from multiple members of the Crack Clan. You can see the grenades going out there from Numlock. Now the scouts are up there as well. Ali's down to about 11%, I think, on the Uber. It's still going up. Ali's coming under fire, and Ali gets taken down at the same time as Numlock gets taken down. So Gear, Bash, and Stefan, last men standing, but fortunately they managed to get a complete wipe on Crack Clan, and they are now moving into the next point. They're going to try and go in there for a quick rush. Let's see what happens as making their way in. Oh, Bash gets taken down. Let's see if we can find out what Nox is up to. Nox is trying to get there as quickly as possible. He's been overhealed. And we're now watching Ips as they're trying to deal. Looks like he is running pocket. No, let's see. Let's just check. Might be roaming. I think he might be running pocket with the demo man and the medic. So let's just wait and see what... Yeah, so he's running pocket. As you can see, now they're going in for a little bit of a sideways attack onto the demo man. He's going to try and focus down that demo man as quickly as possible. So Brago and Two Nuts taking down the demo man. The soldier coming under pressure. You can see here Ips being fired at from multiple directions. He then gets taken down. We move over to the scout, Stefan. You can see now Stefan in the center, and it looks like they've managed to deploy a sniper. So Stefan harming himself to build up that Uber. Ali with the Uber, 69%, 70 at the moment. Two Nuts has 100%. He has the advantage. Now we're watching through the eyes of Brago. He is the demo man for the Crack Clan, and he's trying to get himself overhealed for the eventual push. There we go. In come the stickies all over the place. Lovely shot into Bash. Takes him out very quickly, and it looks like Ali had to pop the Uber there as to prevent any kind of damage being done to himself and his soldier teammate. And you can see the combo here for... Oh, look at that! That was... Oh, nasty. Knots came in. Rocket jumped over the top, took out the enemy medic. And you can see now the stickies being chucked down by Brago. Ali, unfortunately, being taken out. He did not survive, unfortunately. And now we're watching Brago as he gets taken out. And the She Likes It Rough also being taken out. So let's see. Gear, Bash, Nox are the only people left standing at the moment. Correction. Bash is down. Stefan and Ali just respawning. So we're actually watching through the eyes of one of the soldiers, T-Mac from Crack Clan. Now they have fully respawned, and I think it's fair to say that Ali has the advantage when it comes to the Uber, as we are now looking at the Uber charge being charged up by Two Nuts as they're making their way from the central point over to the next capture. So let's see what's going on as we're now looking at Ali. He's currently looking pretty good, and it looks like they're trying to capture one of the points. Let's see if we can move in. Oh, there we go. There's one of the Crack Clan scouts, and you can see Gear trying to deal with the enemy. There we go. Nice shot into Fiddy from Stefan. So Stefan doing a good job of trying to take down the other scout. In comes the enemy demo man. That's Brago pushing in from the right-hand side. Can't tell if he's actually supported by a medic. In comes the Roma, so you can see Gear coming in. Goes in. Oh, look at that. Bounced off the floor and then a rocket into his face. Lovely shot from Gear there. He's looking pretty good. And jumps in onto a demo man who then pops, has an Uber popped on him. So you can see there the pocket and the combo, I should say, being run by the demo man and the medic at the moment. But Gear is pushing pretty substantially in there. And he's up in that sneaky little area right on the top, as we're now looking at Ali with 20%, Two Nuts with 19% on their respective Ubers. Everybody's pretty alive. You can see people being overhealed on the left hand side, so Gear and Bash and Fragnet, Stefan being overhealed, and now they're waiting. You can see the two medics have pretty much equal Ubers at the moment, so it means that the push that they're probably going to have to make, there's a good chance it's going to happen at exactly the same time. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, as we're now watching Bash in. Picks up himself a healing pack and is ready to move in on the central point, as you can see, being defended by the Crack Clan. And there we go. Both the Ubers are now ready for Ali and Two Nuts on their respective sides. Let's see if we can find out what's going on, as we'll see if we can find in. There we go. We're following in Numlocked. There we go. Uber's been popped, and let's just wait and see. Ali still with the Uber. There we go. He took a rocket straight away. Ali then had to pop that Uber to ensure his survival. Now, for whatever reason, the Crack Clan have lost. Their Uber's gone, and now they're going to have problems because they've got to back off. Ali is now moving back, and we're watching through the eyes of Numlock as he's trying to do a little bit of proactive defense, chucking out pipe bombs, chucking out those stickies, see if he can knock down that medic and knock down the scout. And you can see that Bash is being taken down by one of the scouts as well. Oh, shot and a half into Fiddy. And we're now watching Brago. Brago coming in and trying to support his medic. As you can see now, moving the combo back out of the way, trying to make sure that all those checkpoints are covered with the sticky bombs, working together with his medic. Got to watch out for those stickies outside the door. It's the scout's job to clear those stickies. Now, the trouble is the Crack Clan are not doing very well at the moment. They're down one person, but Ips is going to spawn again. However, it might be possible that they're going to run out of time where the Uber is concerned. 84% for their Uber at the moment, and it's just a matter of whether or not Epsilon decide to push. There we go. I think they're pushing, and it might be that Two Nuts is going to be able to get it in time. Yeah, he's at 98%. He's at 98%. He's got it for 100%. So you can now see She Likes It Rough trying to deal with them. And now the Uber has been popped for Crack Clan. I should say. And Ali, Epsilon, Gear, and Fragnet have... Fragnet, Jesus Christ. Sorry, my brain's mush today. I do apologise, boys and girls. So Stefan now having still alive, and we can see She Likes It Rough on the point, working together with the medic. Let's see if we can find out what's going on. There's Two Nuts there. We're watching the medic. He's working with his demo Brago, and he's obviously working with the roaming and the pocket soldier. So trying to keep people as overhealed as possible. So you can see the medic doing a great job there of keeping at least 4 or so of his team permanently overhealed. That boost in HP is really going to help them. And obviously they're damaging themselves and each other and all the rest of it and so on and so forth. So they can build up that Uber as quickly as possible. Now look at that. 92, 100%. There's Two Nuts. It's crackling. He's ready to rock and roll. He's got his pocket ready to go. The pocket rocket is ready to be deployed. And it looks like he's going to chuck in an overheal for one of the soldiers as well, and one of the scouts, as it looks like they are sneaking around the back area. pops one in for the soldier over on the side. And let's see, now we're moving in with Ali. So Ali currently the medic for Epsilon. There we go, he pops the Uber as the soldier goes in for the point. Looks like the soldier's going to try and focus down the medic, but no, the medic pops the Uber just in time. Two Nuts managing to pick up that Uber very quickly, and you can see Ali there took a rocket and was able to fortunately get out of the way. He managed to strafe himself out of trouble. So he's unfortunately low on health. He's trying to get that health back as quickly as possible, build up that Uber and keep the whole team alive as best he can. Now Sticky's coming in, Ali trying to get away from those Stickies. Let's move in on Gear, Soldier of Fortune so to speak, as we watch him make his way in. There we go, jumps up onto the far right hand side to try and deal with one of the scouts. There we go, lots of fire and rockets and everything going in all directions. So it looks like now they're trying to move on to the next point. There we go, I think they might be going for a quick rush. There we go, the soldier moves in and they're going to try and defend it. There we go, let's see it. Oh goodness me, they made it just in time. And unfortunately for Crack Clan, they didn't really have enough numbers there in order to defend it. So yeah, apparently Mike is revising for his last exam, so that's why you won't see him on here. So thank you for that information, gentlemen. Obviously, education is important for those of you who are in the middle of it. You know, real life sometimes gets in the way of your gaming. So we're now watching Gear. He is stalking his enemy. There we go. Oh, shot from Brago. Takes our poor old Epsilon Gear. Let's go up high, find out what the teams are up to in this central point. Well, pretty much nothing at the moment, as most of the Epsilon team have been beaten back. And there we go, the blue team moving forward. Crack Gaming, or Crack Clan I should say, I've got to stop saying that. Crack Clan now moving as Gear and Bash and Nox all respawn. But the important thing is that the Ubers are now matching. So you can see Ubers are ready to go. Look at all these lovely stickies around these choke points. Beautifully placed by Brago. And now they're looking for the opportunity. There we go. It's going to be Uber versus Uber. Goes in with a quick rocket jump. Tries to take out one of the scouts. The Uber's been popped for the blue team. And we're now watching to see what's going on, as now he decides to back off as loads of rockets coming in towards the demo man. And you can see that poor old Two Nuts has just been taken down. Ali's building up. No, his Uber's been deployed. So you can see now. Oh, that was so unfortunate. And now we've got Stefan looking in for any enemies underneath the capture point to see if anyone is going to be trying to sneak in to do a back cap. But no, Stefan gets taken out, and then she likes it rough. Falls just in front of the capture point. So a pretty intense attack there by the member of Crack Clan, and they managed to hold it off. Epsilon managed to push pretty hard and managed to hold them back. So we're now looking at Two Nuts in there. You can see him working with his pocket soldier, and they are now moving back. So you can see pops in, now rotates around to work with a demo and giving some overhealing to that additional scout. So you can see a roaming soldier over here on the left side. There's T-Mac over there roaming like a mofo, and you can see the rockets now coming in as Epsilon moving into the central point. You can see over on the left hand side, or right down the center of the screen, you can see the Crack Clan. They are pushing in from that point, and you've also got the two scouts who are doing their best to capture the point as quickly as possible. Now they can move on to the next point and find out what awaits them. And it is of course Crack Clan. So you can see them moving along with the soldiers. So the pocket soldier moving in along with the demo, and it looks like the scouts are possibly trying to hold that point. Let's see if they're going to go for a sneaky cap in the center before they can get the middle point or the end point. There we go. Fire coming in. It looks like they might just be able to sneak it. Oh, Epsilon just snuck it from under the nose of Crack Clan on that final point. And now let's see if we can follow in as Numlock. Looks like the Crack Clan are now pushing back towards their point to defend it. It looks like Brago and the demo man. Oh, the demo and the medic both go down courtesy of spam from the demo. There's Numlock doing some lovely shots with the grenade launcher and sticky bombs. So that looks like he's doing pretty good so far. Most of Crack Clan are down. Two Nuts, the medic, is down. T-Mac, Brago, a lot of important people down there. And let's see as the spam is coming in. So you can see now, there where goes one of the soldiers in, and the scout goes in as well to try and capture the point. And that was a quick push. So that pretty much made sense. Soldier and scout going in very quickly there to try and capture the point, while the rest of them remained behind, so to speak, to spam the area. So let's watch Numlock's progression through the various areas. So you can see him moving in towards the middle point, picking up the ammo. There we go. And look at that. That's fantastic timing. As you can see, the demo man from the enemy was also there as well. So the Crack Clan demo man making it in pretty equal time. Stefan being taken down. Poor old Ali dominating Two Nuts. Oh dear, looks like with, let's see, Ali gone down. Goodness me, look at that. That's pretty much most of the Epsilon. Oh wow, that was a complete wipe. Brago, the only man left standing on 21 health. That was pretty brutal, I have to say. So, is the in-game sound is weird? In what way? So, I've turned up the volume just a little bit. If you let me know if the in-game sound is any better. I just don't want it to overwhelm the voice that is going on. So, anyway, so you can see Bash unfortunately being taken down. And he is the only casualty for Epsilon. And you can now see Epsilon and the team being pushed pretty significantly by Crack. And they decided to push back, or move back I should say, back to one of their original points as we're watching Brago get onto the point now. You can see him there laying stickies on those key areas to make sure that there's nobody in that area, popping a few explosions, all that kind of funky stuff. There we go. Two Nuts has now got the Uber, and you can see the scout trying to clear any sticky bombs that are around the area. So they're building up. You can see now, this is the moment that they are building up to. Let's look in. Epsilon Gaming is waiting for them. Now the question is, are they going to go aggressive? Oh, here they are. Here they come. There looks like they decided to go very aggressive rather than wait for Crack Clan to go to them. They decided to go to Crack Clan themselves. So Brago in there, and it looks like the soldier. Oh, the poor red soldier taken down by Brago and Two Nuts. Nice combo there, and it looks like currently numbers are pretty equal, but no, there goes gear as well, courtesy of the scout. And now they're moving into the final point. Out comes the stickies. This could be a quick cap here for the members of Crack Clan, and it was. Unfortunately, pretty much everybody on Epsilon Gaming was dead. They had no way of coming back from that. So yeah, if you want to see that, then yeah, sure. If you want to see the view models, I'm quite happy to show that. I normally have it switched off, but yeah. Give me a second. Where is it? It's here somewhere. I was looking at it earlier. You can never bloody find it when you suddenly well want it. Screw it, we'll do it when one of the rounds is over. So, anyway. Yeah, fair dues. It's easy to see which weapon they're using, a spec and all the rest of it. So, I normally have it switched off when I play. So, I just find it tends to get a little bit distracting and want as much screen what's the word? Screen space as I possibly can for the actual game. So, we're now watching. Let's do that again. Let's quickly check that. See if we can find it. Because I don't want to spoil your enjoyment of the game. Where the bloody hell is it? There we go. Draw view models. Okay. There we go, boys and girls. So now obviously, oh look at this coming in. In come the soldiers. We're now watching Numlock spraying back onto the enemy. So I hope you like that now that we can actually see that. There we go. Clearing of the demo sticky bombs. More. Oh, poor old Brago. Or poor old Numlock being taken out by Brago. So now we're watching Brago moving into the point, popping down those sticky bombs, and you can hear the sizzling of the Uber in the background. So, yeah, it's probably easier just to do it in console, but I couldn't remember what the console command was, and we just didn't have time. So anyway, blew in and grabbing another point from below the nose of Team Epsilon. So, let's watch Brago, his transition to the middle point. Let's see how he decides to do it. There we go, pretty quick. And you can see, let's look up in the main point, find out what's going on. So there you go, Epsilon coming in from one side and Crack moving in from the other. Rocket jumps up onto the middle point. Let's see how things are going. Looks like Stefan is pretty low on health at the moment. Oh, come number of Crack being taken down. T-Mac being taken down. The blue demo man taking a little bit of pressure from one of the soldiers, and it's looking pretty good. Ips also, unfortunately, low on health, and it looks like they've tried to push in. They're trying to spam that poor medic. So you can see there, Two Nuts taking a lot of pressure, and he is in possibly a lot of trouble. Two Nuts literally diving left, front, center. Oh, multiple rockets, just missing Two Nuts, and he pops the Uber. Fantastic play by Two Nuts there. Managed to avoid dying courtesy of multiple rockets, and Two Nuts decides to cheese it in the opposite direction, which is sensible play by the crack medic. So let's follow Brago, and she likes it rough. So we shall follow him with T-Mac as he's moving in. You can see he's been overhealed. Little bit of fire coming in from the enemy soldiers, and pops himself up with a nice little rocket jump. Picks up a med pack and is away, ready to attack the enemy. So there we go. See him rocket jumping into position, ready to go. Scout goodness coming in. There we go. More fire coming in. Oh, takes down Bash. Lovely shot there. And there we go. Looks like he's going in for the pocket soldier and also the medic as well. So you can see T-Mac suffering from a little bit of low health. He's now taking a bit of fire, but then gets taken down by a long distance rocket from Nops. So Two Nuts in. Let's watch the medic for Crack Clan and find out how he works. So you can see him now basically trying to spread the healing and the overhealing in between all of his team, which he's looking after at the moment. So you can see he's got at least 3 members of his team pretty much towards overhealed, but poor old Fiddy Fiddy gets taken down, and now the final point is about to be taken. So there we go. Epsilon taking the second to last point, and will be moving in pretty quickly. Now obviously Two Nuts is doing his best. He's trying to build up that Uber, dodging from left and right to avoid any sudden shots that might be coming in. There we go. He's going to be ready to pop it any second. There we go. He pops it, and seeing if he can actually hold on to it. Let's see, he's going to pop one onto the scout, pop one onto the soldier, onto the scout again, keep the soldier alive as best he can. And that attempt by Epsilon. There we go, another soldier comes flying in. Oh, and Nox goes straight for poor old Two Nuts. Absolutely butchered him. However, fortunately for Two Nuts, the remaining members of the Crack Clan cut down Team Epsilon, and they weren't able to get any further. Now that's interesting. Ali's now in with the Kritzkrieg. So now what this is going to do is going to be a slight advantage, a little bit of a speed increase when it comes to actually building up that Kritzkrieg, and you've obviously got the scout that he's working with building up that Kritzkrieg as quickly as possible. Now the question is whether or not he's going to focus on one of the soldiers or the demo man for that Kritzkrieg when it becomes time to use it. So let's see, as they are now moving through the central point over to the next point, the penultimate point to be captured, currently held by the blue team. So you can see the demo spam coming in. We're now watching Ali. There goes the crits, multiple crits coming in into Brago, takes down the demo man, and now he decides to crits the demo, but then the demo gets taken down, and T-Mac, oh look at that, that's going to be unfortunate. Let's see if Ali can defend himself. No, he can't. Against a scout with an attitude like that, that's going to be hard to defend against. Unfortunately, the medic just does not have the firepower to compete against a scout moving that fast and with that gun. So as you can see now, Two Nuts and Crack have the obvious advantage. They have an Uber. They're moving in with the pocket and the Roma. So the Roma moves up. There we go. So you can see the demo man is around somewhere. Got to sniff around waiting for him. He's trying. There we go. Demo man then appears, decides to chuck some stickies onto those choke points. And now that that choke point is protected to make sure that nobody comes up behind them, they move down through one of the garage doors and are moving up into the point. There we go. So he pops the Uber to protect the soldier going in there with the shotgun and combo, and you can see them now moving into the point any second. So you can see he's now lost his Uber, and he's going to try and get the soldier. There we go. The soldier moves into the point, and you've now got scout and a soldier and everybody on the point, and Team Epsilon well and truly overwhelmed there, and another point on the board for Crack. So yeah, guys, if you're watching in chat, any comments you have to make, any feedback, any of that kind of stuff, greatly appreciated. Anything that you have to say will be received in good faith. Anyway, let's have a look as we move in. Let's see, let's go up high, find out how the teams are spreading themselves out. So there you go, you have the medic for Epsilon, and you've got the 2 soldiers moving in combination with a demo man who, let's just see, that was Bash, I think, who just got chunked as you can now see the medic taking a few rocket shots and a few grenades. Now it's demo on demo action going on, and you've got a little bit of rocket fire coming in as well. So there we go, the point has been captured, and now you've got Ali moving in. The combo, you can see here, the demo, no, it's, there we go. They've swapped it over pretty quickly. They went from a demo combo to a soldier combo, and now you've got them both sitting on that point and capturing it. Now, the interesting thing is that there's no scouts to capture that point. Correction. In come the two scouts. They literally arrive perfectly on time, and then the soldier arrives. So let's see if we can find out what's going on. So let's follow Ali as he's moving in, trying to keep as many of those team members as healed as possible. Moving into the final point, pops the Uber just to ensure the survival, pops one over to the soldier, pops one to the demo, and tries to capture the other soldier, but he's out of position. One of the other soldiers is taking a little bit of fire, and they've got a heavy in there as well, and then you can see Numlock trying to deal with that heavy. Looks like the heavy's been taken down, the scouts moving forwards. The demo man's going to try and move in as well, and they're going to try and take out Two Nuts, which they have, and they're going to capture that point to tie it up 3-3. So that, I think you say that was, it got a little hairy right at the start of that final push in there, but fortunately with a little bit of suppressive fire from the combination of the scouts and the soldiers, and the demo man took down that heavy. They took down Two Nuts from Crack, who was the medic, and that was it, pretty much all over, and broke the back of that defense. So now you can see Clack there, Clack. No, this is not the film industry. Oh, lovely shot in there. Oh, fantastic stuff. Oh my God, there's chunks everywhere. It's like being at a butcher's shop. So you can see now Crack Clan moving up, and pretty much everybody except for Ali now. That's interesting. Ali actually was the only person to survive. Let's see if we can get an idea as to where they are. We are now watching T-Mac, and she likes it rough, capturing that last point. Now, the good thing is, oh, no, it looks like Two Nuts has the advantage when it comes to the Uber. It has about 7% advantage. The question is whether or not these guys are going to push it before Ali has a chance to finish his Uber. It's a distinct possibility they might do just that. There we go. They're charged. And no, but Ali's managed to get the Uber in as well. So let's see if we can find out what's going on. So this will be T-Mac, the roaming soldier, working together. And it looks like they're ready to go. They're just trying to build up their... Oh, little scout sneaks in. And there we go. The rocket jump in. And it looks like the roaming went straight for the... Oh, fantastic timing on the Uber by Ali. That was just phenomenal. He literally got shot into the wall and then popped his Uber as he slid down the other side of the wall to protect himself and prevent himself from being killed. So good timing there by Ali, medic for Epsilon. And let's see, as they are now crackling with the Uber, there we go, they pop the Uber, and it looks like two scouts going for the midpoint, going for the soldier on the midpoint. One of the scouts is on there, and it's just a question of whether or not they can get the other scout on there quickly, and they can. Now that was very interesting, because obviously they can't actually capture the point when they're Ubered, so obviously he had to switch his Uber attention to one of the others so that the other scout would catch it, and then two scouts on the point means that that final point gets caught awfully quickly. So let's focus in on the likes of, let's see, nobody. Let's focus in on the central point. As you can see, the Epsilon over on the left hand side there, moving in also from the corner, and then you can see them having a little bit of a run. There's Numlock coming under a little bit of pressure from one of the soldiers. He's working in the pocket with the medic, and now they're under attack from the scout, and it looks like now the demo man's coming under fire. The medic, oh, the medic just gets taken down by suppressive fire from one of the scouts. That was very unfortunate. The medic unfortunately did not have enough support around him at that time. The demo man was trying to focus on one of the other soldiers, and there just wasn't enough people available at that time. Unfortunate fact of life, these things happen. Let's move on. Won't tell you who the caster is. The caster is me. My name is Chadman. Hello, good evening everyone. I hope you're enjoying this PCW between Team Epsilon and Crack Gaming, or Crack Clan. I always keep Crack Gaming, it's just brain fart. It's been a long, long day. Anyway, you can see a soldier up there near the combo for the blue team. You can see them sizzling away with the Uber. Now this is going to be a problem, because let's see if we can find out, because Ali only has 40% Uber, and in comes the Uber. He's got to back off. You can see him being very cautious, very defensive. Epsilon playing very defensive to try and deal with that. He's trying to get the scout. Is he going to be able to get it? Oh, poor old Ali. Unfortunately, was unable to stay out of the way. There was too many of them, and that is the first map to Crackland. And I think we are ready to begin. Oh, look at that. Fantastic stuff. So, so it looks like the teams are underway. There goes the demo. Let's see if we can follow Fiddy as he follows the demo man into his point. You can see him doing his sticky jump to try and get into that central point as quickly as possible. There will be a little bit of demo on demo action. So in comes, that was Numlock's sticky bombs that were placed at the choke points. And you can see massive amounts of fire. You can see the medic down there on the left-hand side. That's Ali trying to keep people alive, taking a little bit of fire, taking some rockets. And Ali gets taken down on the far left-hand side. That means now, as a result of that, Epsilon will have to back off and surrender that first point to the team in the center. So, Two Nuts and friends taking that point, and we'll follow in, let's see, with Brago, demo man of choice, and you can see they've now got the Uber. That's going to help them. Ali's going to be in a really difficult position now because he has no Uber. He's going to start building up at about 2% now, as opposed to 100% for Two Nuts. We're just waiting to see what they're going to do as they're now moving in to that point. A little bit of spam coming in from the demo. Rocket Man on the right-hand side. And it looks like they're going to try and push pretty hard into that section. And it looks like Epsilon have now had to move back as one of the scouts is doing a little bit of probing. There we go. The Uber has been popped. Now Epsilon are under pressure. So you can see they're all literally cycling back further and further and further and further, trying to get back to the point to try and push back, waiting for that Uber to disappear. Look at that fire coming in onto Brago. Now she likes it rough, also trying to deal with the scouts. You can see them going for the scout that's with the medic as well, and the final point got taken there. Now that was very unfortunate for Team Epsilon, as they pretty much lost most of their number, and unfortunately they were unable to continue there. So let's see if we can follow in with, of course, Mr. Numlocked. Demo man of choice with a nice strafe jump there and a little bit of pre-battle bottling. Who doesn't like that? So there we go. He's going for those choke points. He's going for those scouts. See if he can do any kind of damage with the scouts. So now we're watching, see what's going on. Let's go up high, find out what the battle is going, how things are going. And let's see, Gear's taken down. But it's taken down Two Nuts. And it looks like the medic for the enemy team is down. And that's looking pretty good. Stefan and the enemy medic, or Stefan and the Epsilon medic, are the only ones left standing. And Brago decides to cheese it in the opposite direction. No, maybe not. He's staying a little bit aggressive, as you can see the scouts, Stefan and Gear now having respawned. Ali managed to survive, so that's good play there by the medic. He is now getting ready to charge, as we are waiting for the moment where the rest of the Epsilon team turn up. So the scouts and the medic capturing the middle point. There we go. The soldiers now turn up, ready for the push-in. So there we go. You can see Gear moving in to move as the combo with the medic. You can see the medic also working with him, dodging left and right. In comes the additional roaming soldier and, of course, the demo man. So let's watch Fiddy. And there's Brago, who is the demo man. So obviously they're covering that mid choke point and the left choke point as well, hitting those grenades and pipe bombs at that middle point. So we're just waiting to see what's happening, as there's, looks like we have a Uber for Two Nuts on crack, and you can see him putting stickies there. Brago putting stickies at all those key choke points, waiting for one of those evil men to come and attack him. And it looks like a little bit of Uber on Uber action going on between the two medics. So you can now see Crack pushing up pretty significantly on the far right hand side against Team Epsilon. Epsilon doing okay so far. You can see Bash down a little bit in health. Bash is taking a little bit of fire, so is Stefan as well. He's going to have to pull back for a little bit of healing. And we're now watching with Two Nuts. And, oh, Nox has been taken down. So Soldier's down. Demo's down for Epsilon. Oh, another man's down as well. So that's two. Oh, goodness me. Epsilon, Gear, and Ali now having to back off. Let's see what we can do. Find them. There we go. So there's Ali and there's Gear. These guys are being ultra defensive now. They've got to get back as quickly as possible to this defensive point. Wait for their team to come and support them, because there's no way they'll be able to take on a full-size team. There we go. The rest of the team has now respawned. And you can see, let's just see, Ali still doesn't have the Uber, so they're acting very defensively at the moment. You can see the Epsilon Gaming team currently acting pretty conservative, waiting for the moment when they're going to attack. They're going to hold on to that Uber, maybe pop that Uber just a second or so after Two Nuts and Crack pop theirs as they decide to push in. And there we go, in comes one of the soldiers coming in from the right hand side. There we go, looks like Ali took a little bit of damage, so he had to pop the Uber. So now they're moving in with that Uber, but the thing is Two Nuts still has his Uber to deploy, so that basically gives Crack Gaming, or Crack Clan I should say, the advantage as the soldiers are now moving up and now moving in along with the demo man. You've got Ali moving in 16% on the Uber. Two Nuts still has that Uber in his pocket. He's waiting to deploy that. Oh, shot from Brago coming in. Lovely sticky jump, or sticky bomb I should say, and they've now just popped the Uber. That basically means that Ali has to turn around and disappear as quickly as possible, because there's no way he'll be able to deal with that. And now Gear is in position to help out. He's in there as the pocket soldier and now firing into the point to where the demo man is coming from. Look at those stickies, beautifully aimed, and the rockets as well. And there we have it. Crack take that next point. Now the trouble is the demo man and the scout have just respawned. Look at that. Gear pops in with a rocket jump, takes a pot shot at the enemy, and then rocket jumps back out again. Now he's going for one of the other soldiers in the oh, that was very unfortunate. Poor old Gear reloading there, reloading death for Gear, as you're now watching Bash moving back and forth, left and right, trying to cover the flanks as indeed the scouts are supposed to, ready to move out. And let's see what's going on. He decides to move back, and they're now looking at Nox. You can see the Uber is ready to deploy. The Uber, and it looks like they're moving up on the far right-hand side. They might be trying to sneaky jump in the side there, and they're going for that point. You can see the scouts moving in. There we go. The Uber's just been popped. The demo's being attacked all over the place, and it looks like the soldiers also... Oh, look at that shotgun out of the air into T-Mac as well, and the scout gets finished off. She likes it rough, and Two Nuts are deciding to cheese it in the opposite direction. Correction. Two Nuts is legging it, as we say in the business. Fortunately for him, his demo man friend Brago has respawned. So the demo man is now in there. Two Nuts is trying to keep him healthy. Now the thing is, obviously, these guys have to act very defensively until this happens. The rest of the team turns up to support them. It will be foolhardy for them to try and take on a full team of Epsilon with only 2 men. And you can see now the fire coming in on the medic. The medic is coming under a little bit of fire, but fortunately the scouts are keeping him safe. We're watching Two Nuts at the moment. He is trying to find somebody to pop one of the heal beams onto. And you can see now from that point of view that Gear and Bash and Stefan are all down. So it's literally essentially the demo man, the medic, and one of the soldiers for Epsilon are all that remains between them and Crack and this next point. So the scout, it looks like he's going a little bit of pressure. There we go, he's popped the Uber, he's trying to capture both of them. Captures the demo, captures the soldier, and they've popped the Uber at the same time. Looks like he's going to have to back off and try and keep the demo alive. Demo's now moved into the pocket and working in the combo with the medic, and as you can see, coming in, and it looks like he's going to have to defend himself as best he can. The medic now working with the soldier, popping a heal onto the scout as well, just to give him that little bit of squirt of extra healing. Fantastic stuff going on here, and Epsilon have managed to hold it, even though, oh, look at that, rocket comes flying in from Ips, takes out multiple people. That was, let's just see, that was Bash and Numlocked as well. Fantastic rocket there from Crack. And you can see now working with the pocket, so you can see Ali and Gear now working together. So there we go. Looks like the other soldier then moved from roaming into the pocket, and the combo is now being worked on by, oh no, looks like the scout is having a few problems. Let's see, let's focus on Ali. So you can see now the rest of the team moving in to support Team Epsilon, and you can see the soldier now staying with the medic. And you can see Nox being very well overhealed there, and it looks like they're going to be ready to pop the Uber. He looks to move on to the demo as they're coming from the right-hand side. They're trying to push in there. Their Uber has been popped literally seconds after the other Uber got popped by the enemy team. So now Cracker trying to see if they can push in, and the demo is literally cornered over on the far side, and he has been taken down. And what can I say, but Epsilon dodged a bullet on that one and managed to keep that point. Oh, Fiddy comes in and takes down Nox. Oh, that's going to piss him off, as you can see. There's a nice ruffle there from Nox. So you can see a little bit of self-abuse going on, and they're trying to build up their Uber. Now, look at the Uber combined. Ali currently looking at around 48%. You've got Two Nuts sitting at 24. So currently, as far as point of view, as let's see, they've got a scout down, and I think the final member of Epsilon is now moving. Oh, what the hell? That was just What a bastard. Yeah, okay, well that was a spy who just basically went after Ali, and Gear bumped into him, and he then stabbed Ali in the back. So a deeply, yeah, that was what was known as full-on bastard. That was pretty impressive. Nice timing by She Likes It Rough with spy skills and all the rest of it. So there we go, lovely stuff to see. And Ali saying, thank you for that. Because, you know, it's even though you get stabbed in the back, there's no reason you can't be polite about it. That's what I say. So we're moving in, and we're now watching Ali in there with the Uber charge. He's trying to pop some onto the scout, pop some onto the other soldier who's working with him. You can see the roaming soldier up ahead, popping some rockets in the general area. Looks like they're building up the Uber. Now, we're looking as Gear. They're waiting for an opportunity. Everyone's being overhealed, and they're waiting by the looks of it. This is the quiet moment before they actually build up the Uber. So they're at 98%, 99%. There we go. It looks like he's fully charged, and they're going to be making a push in. So the scout's moving in from the left. In goes the rockets. Oh, look at that shot from Gear. Literally rocket jumped and then shot one straight at the demo man. Fantastic shot indeed by Gear. So Gear's in there trying to do his thing, and he comes under a little bit of fire. So you can see him popping over to capture a med pack, and the Epsilon team managed to take that with pretty much very little loss. So let's follow Bash, scout of note, as he makes his way in there. Oh, the demo man gets taken down, Brago, and now Bash is after one of the scouts. It looks like he's going to try and pop them the soldiers, but no, the soldier manages to take down Numlock, and now Two Nuts. Oh, poor old Ali got taken down by the scout, unfortunately. That was a very, very nasty play, and they literally managed to turn the tables very quickly as soon as that Uber was popped, and Bash gets taken down. So
our control point is being
I'm glad you guys are liking the HUD. Okay, let's see what's going on as we're now watching Numlock setting up his choke points, the sticky bombs of choice, popping an explosive nade into certain various little corners, just in case somebody happens to be sneaking around the corner and waiting there. So you can now see at this current moment it's looking pretty good for Two Nuts, because he has 70% on his Uber, and you can see the fire coming in from all over the place. And there we go, sticky bombs being placed into all those little trappy areas that the demo men love so much. Oh, look at that quick run in onto the demo. Looks, oh, T-Mac with a fantastic rocket shot onto Numlock. Stonking stuff. And you can now see Stefan in as the scout. He's doing his best to try and deal. Oh, look at that. Soldier comes after the scout. And let's see what we can go find out what's going on. Fiddy, there, She Likes It Rough. Also in there as well, going after one of the Epsilon soldiers. You've got T-Mac up high. You can see him roaming around, trying to deal with any enemies that might be coming. So let's watch T-Mac, see if he is in fact, is he the pocket or is he the roamer? Looks like he's going no, it looks like the two soldiers going very quickly ahead. Very aggressive play, and another round on the board there for Crack. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. It's all good stuff. We will be being, of course, after this, I do believe, after this battle, they will be moving on to playing Broda TF. And we'll be bringing you that PCW as well. So let's move in with Ali. We're watching Ali at the moment, moving into this midpoint. As you see, taking rockets already. Poor old Ali coming under intense pressure from Crack Clan. So you can see he's now trying to keep that soldier quite healed. Now he's obviously having to move back. One of the soldiers moves back into the pocket to assist him, and you can see now he's got to be careful because he's going to come under fire. Oh, taken down. Poor old Ali didn't really stand a chance there. So you can now see, oh, Brago being taken down by Nox, and now it looks like it's a little bit of scout on soldier action going on here. Bit of rocket fire. Oh, look at that. Nox taking him down with a shotgun. With a very polite FU to go with it. So yeah, fun and games, all fun and games. So there we go. Looks like the Epsilon are making their way back, and let's see, 27%. So Two Nuts looking pretty good when it comes to building up the Uber. So he's got Ips, and She Likes It Rough. There we go. is failing to break his bottle. He's lost his bottle. So let's just see, as we're now watching through Numlock's eyes, as he's popping up these sticky bombs into the far right hand side there, going for those little demo spots that they love. Maybe popping in some more stickies. There we go. He's trying to hit that demo man on the far right hand side as they're building up their Uber. And there we go. In comes the overheal for Numlock as he's popping in those stickies just through that doorway. You can just see them going through. Looks like he's going to just rotate back to get some health. Some ammo, in fact. No, let's go for ammo. I say ammo. Now we've got a pretty substantial push by the members of Epsilon into the right-hand side. And it looks like now the red Uber has been popped, and now the blue Uber has been popped. And there we go. Oh, the demo man for Epsilon is down. And Ali is down to 7%. And they're looking at Gear also in there as well. There we go. T-Mac being taken down by Gear. And now, let's see, 2 men down on Crack. Soldier and Scouts. And the demo man now respawning. Oh, look at that. Scout jumping up onto Brago very quickly. He has to retreat awfully fast in order to get back. And they've captured that last point. Now, let's go up high to find out how they're going to do this final attack on the last point. So, let's see. They're waiting. But what are they waiting for? They're waiting for Ips to turn up. I think they're going to be waiting for that Uber to spawn. This is the quiet moment. Now, the question is whether or not Crack are going to try and go offensive. There we go. They were waiting for the Uber. They're now moving forward. And it looks like the Uber is going to be ready for Epsilon at any second. Now they're trying to cover. There we go. In come the soldiers, jumping up onto the pipes. You can see them working with the soldier as well. They've decided to push back as they were getting pushed pretty hard. They're now pulling back. Now the thing is that pullback may not necessarily be a retreat. It might actually just be a move over to retask them over to the right hand side. So there we go. Uber's coming in. The medic trying to get into position as quickly as possible. We're now watching Brago being taken down, and it looks like the point. Oh, so close. Oh, they're so close to getting on this point. Oh, fire coming in from all over the place. Look at this. Oh, wow, a great play there. Great play by Epsilon. Just managed to sneak it from under their nose. So, as you can see, 2-1. Let's have a look at the scores generally. Look at that. Top of the scores for Crack is 2 Nuts, and top of the scores for Epsilon is Ali. Following that, Stefan in there doing a great job as the scout, and obviously she likes it rough also in there as the scout. So, let's see as we move into the midpoint, the central capture point, which is where all the fun and games begin. 2 soldiers left and right. There we go. T-Mac being taken down, and it looks like the demo man doing a sterling job on the enemy. And let's see, it looks like there 2 Nuts has to back off. As you can see, he backed off onto that right corridor, and pretty much every member of Crack has been taken down. With now you can see obviously the demo man in the center, along with Gear and Stefan, the only members of Epsilon remaining. So Gear, as you can see, literally was remaining, or he waited for the demo man and the scout to capture that point and went forward very aggressively to try and capture that next point, hopefully before the enemy team could actually spawn. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough time for him to be able to do that, and then jumped up into a rather sneaky little place. And you see that a rocket literally came straight out, and he went for the medics. He went straight for 2 Nuts, got taken out by Brago. But that's exactly the kind of thing that he needed to do. He forced that Uber before 2 Nuts was ready. He had to pop that Uber in order to prevent himself from dying. And you can see now, unfortunately, the demo man for Epsilon has gone down. And now we're watching Stefan moving in, working with the scout and the medic to try and keep them under a little bit of pressure. Let's see what's going on as the central point now being captured by members of Crack Gaming. A little bit of pistol action going in, and now the medic and the scout are moving back. As you can see, the rocket coming in from all directions. Let's see if we can follow what's going on. So you can see the demo man working closely with the medic as they're now moving in. Oh, the demo man had to pop, or sorry, the medic had to pop an Uber because he got charged from a scout from behind. Fantastic play there by the scout. Fantastic. That was probably Philly going in there doing that. Very, very nasty play. And you can watch the 2 scouts here working together, and now the medic staying in the pocket with the demo man, and the soldiers still roaming around. So there's another soldier over there. He now returns to the loving arms of his medic for a little bit of healing goodness. So now let's watch through the eyes of the demo man. Now, you can see, what are they deciding to do? You can see them laying sticky traps. Now, what I'm thinking is based on that they might be going for a rather defensive ploy here, possibly luring the enemy to them, because bear in mind they don't have the Uber at the moment. 70% for Ali, 100% for Two Nuts. It's just a matter of what they decide to do. So let's go up high, away from the skirt wearing pipe thrower, and find out what's going on. Oh no, poor old Gear gets taken down. More soldiery goodness coming in, and it looks like the medic who has managed to survive, there's Ali, he's managed to get away with the Uber. So fantastic play there by Ali, now being looked after by his two teams. Now the good thing is for the Crack clan is that they managed to take that point from Epsilon without having to deploy that Uber. So now basically it's all Ubers are ready to go, and we're waiting to see as they move in to the next point, trying to take out those sticky bombs. In come the rockets, Uber gets popped in return by Epsilon, and now they decide to back off slightly as oh, there we go, it looks like the two soldiers blocking each other, and a little bit of fire coming in. Oh, Nox goes flying, absolutely ballistic. So poor old Nox being taken down there. He got body blocked as a result, and you can see now the soldiers coming under a little bit of fire as we're now watching. Oh, there we go. Brago being taken down, and Gear finally taken down by Ips. So let's see, Stefan moving in, going after the medic. Can he get the medic? No! Oh, the medic only just survived with 37 health. That was so lucky for him. Good play there by the medic, trying to stay out of trouble. And we're now watching through the eye of Two Nuts as he is now coming under fire, taken down with a lovely rocket from Nox. So now at this current moment, we're looking at the demo man moving back. So let's see, they have now moved back to this final point, and it's just a matter of what they decide to do. Will they play it defensive? Because as you can see, 19% on the Uber and 9% for Two Nuts. So essentially, there are no Ubers to play with, but it's fair to say that maybe 15-second possible difference between the two Ubers. So at the moment, Epsilon has it to win. They have it all to play for. Aha! Look at that. There's a nut. They weren't going to have a repeat of that. Fiddy being taken down as a dirty, dirty spy. So now we're watching from the point of view of the demo man. He's trying to cover all of those choke points. You've got the scouts covering left and right. Oh, fire comes in from Brago, taking down Gear on the point, and the Uber gets popped for Epsilon, and looks like they're going to try and go for Two Nuts, and it looks like Two Nuts has no health. Oh! A shotgun combo, and then a rocket, a sticky jump onto Numlocked, and unfortunately that didn't go well for him. So now he's got to try and get through two scouts if possible. Ali's going to try and move back to get out of the way. He's looking okay health wise, but at the moment Two Nuts is about 47, nearly 50%. That's going to help them out for the point of view of the Uber. So we're now watching Ips moving in, see if he can get in there and do some kind of damage, as they now pretty much holding on to that middle point. So yeah, name is Chad. Hello everyone. So we're now watching Numlocked here at the moment, and we're watching Fiddy Fiddy coming under a little bit of fire, and we'll watch the demo around Brago as he's making his way up. Whoops. Technical problems. So now the demo man's coming under a little bit of fire, pops it out the stickies, but oh dear, that was very unfortunate for Brago. He got caught up in the solid object and unfortunately went down. So T-Mac now dealing with Nox with a fine rocket, and we now see Two Nuts in with a Kritzkrieg. That's very interesting to see. So now it's just a question of what they're going to decide to do, because what it might do is it might give them the advantage of providing. There we go. It looks like they might be focusing on Brago for that Kritzkrieg. There we go. He's popped the Kritzkrieg, and let's see what. Oh dear, poor old Brago got shut down, and that's really unfortunate for Two Nuts. That's essentially his Kritzkrieg has been wasted, unfortunately. Poor old Brago going down very quickly indeed, and now the middle point is trying to be captured by the Crack clan, and we're now watching Alizi's moved in. There we go. So they've captured that forward point as well. Now it means that the entire team has to move back, and they've jumped onto the end point. Oh, a sneaky grab. Oh, a sneaky grab by Stefan, the front cap. Oh, Stefan, you sneaky and underhand bastard. That was just beautiful. So basically what they did was they moved forward, they caught the penultimate area, and then Stefan went in there and grabbed the last point while the enemy team was still at the middle point. So great play there by Stefan. So, yeah, I don't think Brago's going to like me for capturing that sticky on the camera. But no, never mind, you know, hey-ho, these things happen. Oh, look at that, they returned to mid-air sticky. Oh, glorious, absolutely lovely. And you can see Ali taking a little bit of fire, and now he's moving in to support the scouts and the demo. Demo pops over, looks like they went after, oh, there we go, long distance rocket, takes down Two Nuts. And now they're moving in very quickly. Out comes the bottle, you know, he means business. He's now moving forward to let the remainder of his team capture the point behind him. He's going to then try and sticky those spawn areas over on the left and on the right. Let's see, there we go, a little bit of fire coming in, and now they're going to try and capture that middle point, get the scout on the middle point. Can they do it? Oh my goodness, did you see that explosion of Crack Clan came flying out there? But they managed to take that point before Crack Clan could actually do anything about it. A very nasty little sneak. 3-2. Wow. So, there you have it. I think that's been... Let's see. Oh, is it GG? I don't know. Oh! Ali taking down T-Mac. Fantastic stuff. So we'll have to wait and see. As I think we might be moving on to a different server. And yeah, there we go. So I think it's fair to say that now that is the game over, and we shall be moving on to the next server, boys and girls. And that is a GG, so to speak, and we'll move on to the next one.